Hello, everyone. Right, today we are doing the case of missing Jared McColloch. Uh, with us today, he's missing from Knox County, Indiana, and with us today, Mom couldn't be with us, so her friend Teri jumped in to save cancelling the live to help get the information out there. So I'm just going to bring Teri in now, and she's going to introduce herself and explain like her involvement with the case and the family. Is that all right, Teri?
Yes, hello.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
So, if you'd just like to give everybody like an explanation to who you are and whatnot.
Yes, I'm Terry. I'm one of the administrators on the Finding Jared McCulloch Facebook page. I'm a very close friend of Tammy's, which is Jared's mother. Um, how I become involved is I was following on Facebook, and it caught my attention because he went was his initial destination was Sandoval, Illinois, which just so happened to be where my son-in-law was raised, and he still has all his family that lives there. So it caught my attention, and a couple weeks in, me and Tammy started talking, and we've become great friends, and we speak every day. I've been with Tammy on every trip back to the location. I've been with her on searches. Uh, I'm basically one of the few that she has helping her. I'm the one she vents to. I'm just basically here for her. I've never personally met Jared, but I feel like he's one of my own, like he was a son of mine.
So basically, she's stepping in because Tammy didn't feel like doing a public speaking and all that. You got to understand, like we say this all the time, guys. This is her real life, So Tammy didn't feel up to it. So a friend Terry, who's been with her since the beginning of the case, has stepped in, and she's done this multiple times for her to help her to save her having to come on because it's an emotional time for her. Her son's missing. So, Terry, could you tell us a bit about the week that he went missing? Like, no, actually, stop, pull that back. Could you tell us a bit about, the week that he went missing? Like, does Tammy know anything anything that stood out? Was he acting differently or anything like that?
No, he just a normal week. They spoke daily. He definitely was a mama's boy. Uh, he called his mother every night. They had spoke. He was typically what he did every day. Went to work, come home. He'd take his dogs for a ride. Just typical everyday things. Nothing out of the ordinary. And the day that he left, she had actually spoken to him approximately 20 minutes before, and he was hot and tired, from working all day. And he told her that he was getting ready to take a shower, and he was aggravated that the water heater was out. And other than that, I mean, he was completely normal. I believe he had ordered a pizza for dinner, and excuse me, he told her that they were him and a friend and her child, her son, I believe, was going to the movies. They hung up the phone, and by the phone records, approximately 20 minutes later, he received a phone call from the ex, which is his son's mother. They were never married. Jared has never been married. A lot of people keep saying his ex wife, but Jared's never been married. And we don't know what that conversation entailed, but knowing how Jared is, it had to be something she said to him regarding their son being in trouble, or she was in trouble because, I mean, that's just the way Jared was. He was a very kind hearted, genuine person that would do just about anything to help people. And if it involved his family, he was definitely going to be there. And after that phone call, he left and was headed to Sandoval, Illinois.
So, Ruckers has asked, is Ellie and Mom, are they like cooperating, like everything? As in, like, is Ellie keeping her updated? Say, like, if they say we're going to go and do a search here, like, are they keeping Mom informed that they're going to do that? And then, if you know what I mean.
Right. There was the original call to Tammy was Monday morning on the 6th. She received a phone call from the Knox County Sheriff's Department that the truck was found in a very remote area, that the key was in the on position, it was out of gas, and the battery was dead. And both driver's side and back passenger doors were open, and both dogs, Roxy and both of his dogs, were still inside the truck. They kind of immediately wanted to assume that he must have stumbled and fell into the river and he was dead in the river. But the river at
That's the
that
Wabash
time,
River. That's the Wabash River, isn't it?
correct, the Wabash
Yeah, 'cause,
River,
most of the chat are familiar with that from because a lot of them are from Indiana, and the Wabash River has links to the Delphi case and things like that.
correct. At the time Jared went missing, the river was so low you could walk all the way across it. Um, so Tammy said, they kind of assumed he was drunk or, stumbled and fell. And Jared wasn't a drinker. Jared didn't do drugs. They had a canine dog out there that they found absolutely no signs of any drugs, any signs of any alcohol, nothing like that, nothing to the nature of that. And Tammy, her son, was there's no way he would have stumbled in the river and the dogs not had went after him. Okay, the dogs were dry. There was a leash that was damp. But after Tammy got the truck back, there is a spot in the back seat that it appears one of the dogs peed in the truck,
Yeah.
um, which is typical. When they got nervous, the one dog would pee. So we believe that's why the leash was damp. It wasn't even wet; it was just damp. Um, also, Jared would never had went into the river without his shoes. Uh, some people, well, maybe he decided to, take his own life. Okay, that would never, absolutely, Tammy will never buy that. I won't buy that. He would never do that to his mother. He wouldn't have left his dogs like he did with the doors open. And his shoes were found approximately 10 feet apart. A lot of people thinks it took 2 weeks for his shoes to be found, and that is not true. The shoes were found the same time the truck was. It just was not told to Tammy until 2 weeks later that she found out the shoes were found. Um, Tammy has received, they did send her a picture of the shoes. She positively identified the shoes as Jared's, but you can plainly see the shoes were wiped clean. They are, I mean, you could tell they were cleaned.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, is it possible that he had multiple? Because like it's a truck. Like, let me get the truck up for the people in the chat. Because it's it's a big truck and that. I mean, when I work and that, I tend to take my boots off, or I tend to have like comfort. So, is it possible he had a spare pair, and that's what was found, or is it they were what he had on that day? They were what he went out in.
well, by the last video sighting of Jared in Carmi, Illinois, you can plainly see his shoes on his feet that are very dirty, very dusty. And that is the shoes that was found by the truck.
Is that this picture, or is this just one of the pictures of him?
That's just a picture of him.
Okay. Okay. So, how long after he was missing then was the truck found? Was it weeks, days, months?
Well, he left on Saturday night. Saturday evening, he left Louisiana. Um, by the phone records, we were able to track, which it's on the timeline. We were able to track all his stops, and we have obtained some video footage of some of these stops. And by receipts found in the truck, we know how much gas he got at some of the stops. One stop, he got chicken tenders. Um, I'm assuming for dinner on his drive. Uh, but it's I lost my train of thought.
I'm going to take this off the screen because I don't think I've got it on here in order. So I'll take it off, and then guys, if you want to see this, I'll post it in the Discord, and I'll also put it in the right order and post it on a community post for you. So you were saying that on one of his stops, he got chicken tenders.
Correct. For
Yeah.
dinner. And that's how we were able, by receipts that Tammy found in the truck, and by phone records, we were able to ping his, put his timeline. Tammy has spent hours on top of hours on top of hours, um, to be factual on the actual stops that were made and the route that he took. Um, she's even went as far as music, when his music stopped playing. And it's, I won't say no more on that, but it it tells a lot by people that we have spoken to, the ex not telling the truth and
Okay.
stating that he never made it to her house.
So you say he was coming back from Louisiana. What was it? He was coming because I thought he was. I heard he was going to Illinois. Is that correct?
Correct. He lived in Louisiana. After the phone call, the ex lives in Sandoval. And what we were told by her that he was coming to Sandoval and going to meet her to her house, and they were going to go the next day on Sunday to visit his son that was in a detention center in Benton, Illinois.
So he was going to be okay. So he was going to pick his boy up, and he got as far as Indiana.
No, he made it to Sandoval, Illinois. There's video footage of him in Salem, Illinois. These are all right, hop, skip, and a jump apart. Central City, Illinois. We have video footage of him. And then after that is when he started heading towards Indiana.
Oh, okay, I'm with you now. So So did he see his boy, or is it just they know that he was there? They don't know what he did there.
As to our knowledge, he did not go to the detention center and he did not get to see his boy.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so he didn't go there, but there's no indication of what else he did.
Correct.
Okay,
Something was leading him. We believe somebody was guiding him in the direction that he was headed. There was no reason for him to head to Indiana. He doesn't know anyone in that area. He's not familiar with that area, with Mount Carmel or Carmi. Um, he in Carmi is when he sent a text accidentally to his mother and said, "Where's that?" Tammy didn't see the text to some time later, but she kind of laughed it off because he wasn't real tech savvy and he really hated phones, okay? And that he was notorious for sending a text message to the wrong person. Now, Tammy wishes to God she would have seen that text and she could have called immediately and said, what do you mean, where's what? But the text right after that, before that text and right after that text was from the ex. So if you're going to ask someone, where's that? That tells you someone told you to go somewhere and you're asking the question, where's that?
yeah. Um, has has law enforcement interviewed the son or the ex? Now, Ruckus, we won't be talking about the son because he's a minor, but uh, do you want to answer that question about the ex, or is that something that's
To our knowledge, they have not spoken with her.
okay? So no to that one, Ruckus. So with what you've got and things like that, uh, do you think that Tammy has a theory of what's happened? And if so, would it be all right to share what that is, or is that something that she wants to keep close to her chest?
Uh, yeah, I wouldn't be able to share that. We do know that we can't share it publicly.
Okay.
What?
Is the FBI
Uh,
involved because it's state lines?
no, that's another
No.
thing and that's what our biggest thing is, like I said, we're trying to bridge the gap. Knox County is they say they don't have the means or the funds to do some of the testing and the follow through and follow up what needs to be done. And it makes no sense. We're talking four different state lines that was crossed. Every indication shows that Jared was not in that truck when it went to Indiana. Okay. We know that. Someone parked that truck there. It was not Jared. Um, so right away, the FBI should have been contacted. I mean, just crossing the state lines, the value of the truck alone, I mean, the contents of the truck, to our knowledge, nothing's missing. But then again, we don't know what was in the truck. His travel bag, or all that was all still there. Um,
So what when the truck was found, what items were found? Like that could help. Like, was his phone found? Um, I don't know what
no,
sort of
his
things he carried with him. So, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, what sort of items were found? Like, because like how people's like in cases like this, like, was his wallet there? He always had his wallet. Do you know what I mean?
right. What we would know that he would have had on him would be his phone, his wallet, his vape, and none of that has been recovered.
Okay, so none of that's been recovered.
No,
And he apparently, well, not okay. So his dog was found in the truck, and you just don't
correct.
leave you just don't leave your dogs behind, do you? So if he was to go, say, like, I don't know, he's having a midlife crisis, he wants to go and start a new life, his dogs are something that he's going to take with him, and
Absolutely.
it's not exactly a cheap truck. So
No,
you'd
no, it's a
think, if
very
anything,
expensive.
yeah, exactly. So you think, if anything, he'd sell it and buy something that you wouldn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah,
I mean, there's just no way. It's and we try to put up on in the featured section um one of the interviews with the sheriff by, I believe it was by News Nation. Uh the sheriff says at the end, we have not ruled out foul play. Uh but it's the lack of communication, the lack we have got a petition that we plead and beg people to sign this petition, write the state representatives, anybody to help to to get more police coverage on this. Uh, Illinois State Police, his last sighting is in Illinois. I'm not sure if you're aware of Namas. It's
yeah.
sad. It's sad, but the law enforcement in Knox County had never heard of it. And we had to tell him what Namas was. And it's just so sad, all these people missing that they're categorized, and it doesn't matter what color, shape, size you are. It
So
doesn't
when you
matter,
say
male.
numbers, you're on about, like, they basically, so it goes into a database. The person's data information goes into a database, and it's official that that person's missing. Then
Correct. And it has
okay, so because I was just shocked that the police don't know about it, but I know about it, and I'm sitting here in England. Do you know what I mean?
exactly. Exactly. And but there is so many that do not know about it, and it could be a very important piece for all the missing people. But what I was getting at is the only one that can change information in Namas is law enforcement. Okay. So in the beginning, Jared was listed in Namas as missing from Knox County, Indiana. It has been updated that he's missing from St.
Yeah,
Francisville, Illinois.
this is where I was getting confused as well, because I'm seeing Knox County everywhere. I genuinely thought he was from Indiana until you said, well, he was living in
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yes. Yes. It is very confusing. And then at the time this all occurred, you got Eastern time, Central time.
Yeah.
You got the time change was that Sunday morning, the daylight savings.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah. So you're trying to figure out the different, what time was it, you know? Um it's very confusing, very very confusing. Um but Namas was updated that he's missing from St. Francisville, Illinois. So I'm by no means am I a law enforcement, but to my knowledge, that right there would have called for grounds to involve Illinois State Police at the least. Um, and they have not. We have contacted them. Tammy's contacted them. Um, the U.S. Marshals, the FBI, everybody says they have to be invited. So that would fall back on Knox County. Um, It has recently, they shared information with another small town in Illinois. Uh, and it just makes no sense to us. If you're going to share it with another small town in Illinois, why will you not involve the FBI or the Illinois State Police? They are
CJK, dogs was brought in. Is that right? Dogs was brought in. You said early on, and they couldn't find no signs of alcohol, because you said that, like, that's what they were saying at first. Like, he got drunk and he fell in the
right.
river.
Correct.
They brought dogs in, and they didn't find no signs of alcohol, no signs of him or anything like that. That's right, isn't it?
Absolutely nothing. No. Mm-mm.
So
No.
as well on the screen, this one says there was persons of interest in a gas station video. Have they been interviewed? Do you know, or do you know about that?
What was it?
Uh, there's persons of interest from a gas station video. Uh, Someone's seen on Facebook. Have they
Okay.
been interviewed?
We don't know if they've been interviewed. I have spoken to the couple that was in the white truck. It's That's a very interesting one because Jared pulled in right behind the white truck. They went into the store. Um, Jared, that's the time Jared tried to get gas. His card was declined. But if you watch the video, there was a lady on the other side. Her card was also declined. So it wasn't due to the fact the bank declined it. I think there was something wrong with their system, is what we're assuming,
Yeah,
because
I know what you mean.
he did have money in the bank. So Jared goes inside the store. When he walks in, there's a an older man who is the a preacher. We've identified him. He's a local preacher there in Carmi, and he stops and lets Jared go in front of him. Jared walks up to the counter. He pays for his gas. The couple that was in the white truck, we can see him walking around the store. Then they get in line behind the preacher. The preacher pays for his stuff. The couple comes up to pay for theirs, and I won't say why they're of interest. Okay, just by the video, they are definitely someone you'd want to speak to. Okay, now Jared's already back outside pumping his gas. So you go back to the outside video and you can see Jared sitting in his truck now. This also would be the time that he messaged accidentally his mother. Where's that? Then he's sitting there and he's tapping his hands on the steering wheel like he's waiting for someone. Okay, you know how you're waiting patiently, you just kind of tap the steering wheel. Then that couple comes out, gets in their truck. They pull in front of Jared. As soon as they pull in front of Jared, Jared puts his truck in drive and pulls out right behind them. They made a left hand turn. He also turned left behind them. I did reach out to her. It was a man and man and a woman. I reached out to her, and she was very short with her questions. I was very nice. I just told her, I asked questions like, "Did you notice anything?" No. It was one word answers, and that was it. That has all been turned over to the police. That, to our knowledge, if they have spoken with them, they haven't told us they have.
So, how long was he planning on staying in Illinois? Was it like an overnight thing? And if so, uh, did he have like not visitation? Sorry, um, reservations or anything like that?
No. And we don't know how long he
No.
was planning on staying because we didn't even know he was leaving. As I stated earlier, he got a phone call and left in a hurry, as if
Okay.
something had to be told to him for him to leave like that. Um, and he had an overnight bag in his truck, so I don't think he was planning on staying long.
Okay. So from when he went missing and that, since then, has like anybody in particular like cut off family, stopped coming round? That usually would pop in to see Tammy, that was friends with Jared, or like how like the son's mates will go around and see how your mummies and that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and just I don't know, pop in and say like, oh, passing by, but now like they go a different route and They're avoiding the family.
No, not at all.
No, none of that.
Mm-mm. No.
Oh, we've already had that question. Where did he plan on staying? So it's a troubling one, isn't it? It's like so. First of all, we're told because I've even got it on the thing, Knox County, Indiana, and he's from Louisiana or living in Louisiana. Uh,
Correct.
and he actually went missing from Illinois. You say?
His last sighting was in St. Francisville, Illinois.
Has any dive teams looked nearby the water or anything like that?
Yes.
So yeah, there has been dive teams, and obviously nothing's been recovered. Um, don't really. So okay, this is the timeline, guys. I'll get it in order for you, and I'll post it. Is there any do you want me to post a Facebook group for people to join, or is it a closed off group now?
Oh, no, you can absolutely post it.
Post the group. Let me get the group for you, and I'll post that. While I'm doing this, do you want to tell the chat about, you know, like things that they can do to help to help you guys, as in flyer distributions in an area and things like that. Do you know
A-
what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, our main goal is to obviously bring Jared home, and we don't want him forgotten. We can get flyers to you. There's flyers in the featured section if you can have the way to print them yourself. We just want to keep Jared's name and picture out there. If you could sign the petition, um, write letters to the state representatives, all of that is listed in the featured section. And on the petition itself has a list of all the state representatives and the FBI, and literally everything is there. We just need as many people as we can to reach out. I mean, to these people, and get the FBI involved, and the Illinois State Police, and Indiana State Police even. I mean, his truck was found in Indiana. His last sighting was in Illinois. Uh, his truck was released, my opinion, way too soon. I mean, the two within 2 days, his Tammy was told she could come get his truck. It wasn't, no DNA. They did a little bit, um, but not. They're, looking at the pictures when we the pictures sent to her. There was a cigarette pack in the back seat. Jared didn't drive from the back seat. Okay, was that tested for DNA? There was a pink vape in the front. Was that tested for DNA? There was so much that could have been done that was not done. There was a cigarette butt on the ground. Uh, there was just so much that could have been done that wasn't done. And the detective has even said he made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. But we all know, when you're dealing with the sheriff's department, the sheriff's the boss. He's an elected official. And detectives and people under him can't do anything unless the sheriff gives the permission. And
Yeah.
in
So
this case here,
you're saying that like the investigators come out and held his hands up, he's made mistakes.
yes, yes, there was a lot of mistakes made. Unfortunately, it but those mistakes could still be corrected. Um,
Yeah.
if you would just ask and admit it, and you know, just people need to work together. One of our things is, we're coming up on 2 years in November, and I can't imagine as a mother. I have three boys myself. I have a son the exact same age as Jared, and I just can't imagine not knowing where my son is. And you know, there, if everybody would just work together, it would. All it takes is asking for help. We have asked, we can't get it. They have to be the one that invites them in, and it's just a sad, sad situation. I would do anything for to find Jared and bring him home.
Yeah.
We know Jared's not.
Is there any planned searches by yourselves or anything along like candlelit vigils, searches, anything like that that you have
Um,
planned?
we have the 2 year anniversary coming up, and we're planning that now. Um, as we speak. I haven't thought of a candlelight vigil. We've done flow to flower for Jared down the Wabash River. We've done that was on the 1 year anniversary. In July, well, I think it was July we did the float the flower, and on the 1 year anniversary we did another uh had another event, and we've offered, we have free food. The first event, the 1 year anniversary, we did at uh, on the Indiana side. The next one we did on the Illinois side. Uh, you would think a town of 500 that the mayor would have shown up. The only police officer in that town would have shown up. I mean, this is the last place a human being went missing from your town. Nobody showed up. None of them. And that raises questions.
As in the public or
There was a few, quite a few people, from surrounding areas that showed up
yeah.
uh, for support, but um, it's just sad that you feel
Well,
defeated. You feel,
yeah. God, sorry, carry on.
I'm just saying, you feel defeated. You feel, hopeless, and but one thing is, we'll never give up and never stop. And every day I feel, and so does Tammy, we're getting closer. And I just, somebody knows something, and you got to live with that. And I know it's got to be weighing heavy on them. And if they would just, I mean, we've got anonymous tip lines. You can call anonymously. We've got Detective Carr's numbers listed, his emails listed. If you don't want to talk to him, you can, there's so many ways. If you know something, say something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
we
one thing someone that we know does is he does like he's known as uh, he calls it his walking warriors, and like when a case comes up and things like that, he tends to do like a walk. So, say for example, from where say the truck was found to another key location, not saying cross state lines and things like that, but maybe the nearest, I don't know, shop or something like that, to like it's a way of like bringing everyone together, and he's done it with many cases. Is that something that you guys well? Is that something you guys would be interested in doing? Like to, you know, maybe that would help you garner people's interests.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll try anything. It's we take every tip that comes in, we take it seriously. You can't discredit nothing. You have to, and we follow through as much as we can. Everything is given to the detective. But it just seems that, we just keep hitting dead ends. And I know that everything can't be told to us, but You know, we were told twice that it was being handed over to the Illinois State Police, and it's never happened. It's
It's
just
still with Knox County Sheriff's Department.
correct. They did share information with another small town in Illinois, which was Mount Carmel, and to no avail. You
So,
know, and
guys,
it's
if anybody gets past any information, don't pass it on to me. I am just a YouTuber. I'm just an idiot with a computer, as I keep telling you. Call this number, or if you're in the Facebook group, contact Teri or Tammy. Tell them what you've been told, or tell them what you know, and they can then take it to the police, to the sheriff, and things like that. Do not just give it to a YouTuber because they say they're an investigator. Because I can't stress this enough to you. Just because you've got a computer does not make you an investigator. It doesn't.
right, and it's Detective Carr, Carr.
Yeah, another reason for that, guys, is because it creates drama, and then that tip could be credible. That um that tip could be the missing piece that they need, and you giving it to a YouTuber, and you give it to a YouTuber, and police don't hear about it for 6 months, and that YouTuber's ran around and spun every little piece of rubbish that he could think of out of that tip, and then when it comes to the police, they're going to think, well, we've heard about that. We've had those guys tipping in. I'll be Frank's YouTube video from last night. We don't need to hear that, and it could ruin a case. You don't have. It's not even just that. Like, if it is credible, it could cost them a case. If something like foul play has happened, it can get the defendant, a possible future defendant, it can get them off because that information's been spread around for the past 6 months before law enforcement even had hands on it. Do you know?
Right.
Do you know what I mean, guys? But I know. My chat's quite. They're not into the drama really and things like that. Like we're here to help the families. That's what we want. We want to get you guys answers, and the only way I think the best way to do that is one, putting the information out on the platform, two, them guys sharing it, and three, then assisting you guys with flyer distribution. I know you said you can get flyers to us, but with the money that the channel generates, we tend to uh, get them ourselves and that. But I mean, if them spare, and because like I said, these are Indiana, if it's easier for them to get it through you, then I'm not going to knock them for contacting you and saying, hey, can I have so many flyers? I'm going shopping tomorrow. And I thought, do you know what I mean?
Right.
And if you guys can get to things like the visuals, please go to them, because one, you can learn a bit more on the what's it called? You can learn more. Speak to these. You get to meet these people and speak to them, face to face about, the case and things like that. And you can also join in with remembering Jared, or if it's a search party, you can go along and you can assist, even if you just hold a bag and collect rubbish walking round. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's important for us to start getting involved in these things, because if you guys, the community, don't start getting involved, these people have got nobody to turn to other than the police. But the police are going to be doing their own investigations and that. And like she said, she understands that they're not going to get everything off um, law enforcement, because there's some things that they have to hold back from the family, because not because they think the family are involved, but because again, it can ruin a case. It can ruin a case. Them telling someone something, and then somebody else getting hold of that information. Not saying that that's what the family's going to do, but it's just how the police have to think. They have to hold it to the chest. Same as the family. If they've got information, like I've told Teri tonight, if this is they've actually been on news stations, CJK. They've, I believe, news. Not. Oh, sorry. The story's been on news stations. I don't know. Have you been on news stations?
Has
Terry?
covered. Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, I see that question. Have you gone to the news stations? Yes, there's a couple different news stations that's covered it. News Nation has been at every event that we have held.
And they're massive. So that's good. That's good to hear. That because like we've had people on before, and like the news just won't touch them.
Yes, it's there's only a couple, but we have gotten it. News Nation's nationwide, so
Yeah. Well, they're massive. They that uh, when I first started watching true crime, like obviously I've always watched it, but watching live shows and things like that was Gabby Petito case, and
yes,
they blew that case up. You know what I mean?
yes, absolutely.
But sadly, you, when a case gets that big, well, I don't think I've ever seen a case get anywhere near that yet. But when they get that big, in come the armchair detectives.
Right. Yes. But like I said, our main goal is to bring Jared home and just keep his name out there, and whoever is responsible for this, we're not going to stop till we find out.
One thing we ask the family to do when they come on. Now I don't know if you like. 'Cause I always ask them as well. If you're not comfortable with doing it, that's fine. But do you want to put out like a little plea? So if Jared's out there and he hears this by some stroke of a miracle, a plea to that, or like just a plea out, and then like after that, a plea out to anybody who knows anything to come forward.
Yeah, we would like to put a plea out to anyone that knows something to come forward. Most definitely. I mean, we're begging for anyone that knows something to please come forward. And as I stated, they can do it anonymously. That's, you know, clear your conscience. That's all I can say. It's got to be a burden weighing heavy on somebody.
Yeah. So we're just coming up to the hour mark. Is there anything that you want to go over? You know, that you feel that we haven't touched on or we haven't gone over enough of to make sure that it's out there? Like anything that you need out there, is there anything like that that you want to go over and get that out there to make sure
Uh,
that all the information that you need out there is out there?
uh, I think we pretty much covered everything. I do know if everyone would like to join that hasn't joined the page on Facebook, Finding Jared McColloch, we will be posting soon the date and location of an event um, for Bridging the Gap, uh, trying to bring unity together with between Illinois and Indiana and everything. It's going to be on the 2 year anniversary mark. And we'd love to get as many people as we can to participate and come out uh, and just support us and help us find Jared and bring him home.
So this is the Facebook group, guys. I've just this second put it in the chat. So if you are on Facebook and you follow these groups, make sure you join this one because, like she's just said, there is the event coming up soon, and also they're very active on there. That they're like, if you've got questions, you can, you know, find the relevant post and then post your question to that post, or just check in with them, like check in, see if there's anything new and things like that. I've seen like there's multiple posts every day. All I ask is if you're coming from my channel, please don't go over there causing trouble. Please don't go over there asking disrespectful things. I'm sure you guys won't. I'm just putting that out there because okay, I thought I was saying something else then. Yeah, because I don't want Terry contacting me saying, "Well, your guys are all crazy, asking us about dragons and that," because they don't need this. Look, this is their life. Do you know what I mean? This is Tammy's son. She doesn't need to be hearing about how some, I don't know, dragon has taken Jared, and the reason Tammy's being so secretive is because she owns the dragon. She, like, do you know what I mean? It's serious. It's a missing person, and it's her son. So go over there and show some love. Is there anything you want to say to the chat before we end it?
Just thank you to everyone that's listened, uh, and pray. If you're a praying person, just pray that we can find Jared and bring him home. I know I'm a firm believer in prayer.
Now you said something about a petition. I couldn't find the petition while quickly strolling, but it's
It's
in the
it's
Facebook, isn't it?
it's on the Facebook page. It's in the featured section.
Okay, so when you go over to the Facebook, guys, featured section at the top, uh, the petition's in there for you. So make sure you click on it, give it a good read, and then sign it. Okay, Terry. Thank
Okay.
you for stepping in. So I had something to put out there for Jared, and let Tammy know that we're thinking of that and that we're with her all the way.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, guys. Thank you all for coming. Make sure you hit the like, share the stream, and I'll be in voices after this if you guys want to talk about what we've just learned and go over anything. Um, I'll see you guys when I next go live. Again, thank you, Terry,
Thank you.
and thank Tammy for borrowing us to
I I sh-
borrowing you to
I,
us.
I sure
Okay, thank
will.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.